Now we review the 1995 film Screamers. Oh, you mean like your mom? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have finally seen the entirety of the 1995 science fiction gem Screamers, headed by Peter Waller, who you will remember as RoboCop. Now, this particular film features a planet that has been at war for a long time. The war is probably somewhat similar to the American Cold War. It is a war over resources, though, and the planet has essentially become uninhabitable because of a weapon called the Screamer. The Screamer is a self-generating robotic weapon that kills anything made of flesh that walks on the ground. Unless you have a device that says, "I'm not the bad guy." And even then, that device only works so well. Base camp has been sitting here. They have very few soldiers left. And, the war seems like it's pretty much been fought to destruction. When suddenly somebody hand delivers a message saying, "Hey, we'd like to talk to you about peace." Okay. This leads the head of one side to start on a trek with one soldier across the wasteland to the bunker of the enemy in order to talk about peace. And along the lines, they discover how the world has essentially been destroyed. And I mean, the Screamer as a device, it's very similar to, if you've seen the movie Tremors. Imagine a tiny tremor worm, only what it does is it jumps out of the ground to kill you and then sucks you under. Sucks you under after you're dead. So no animals can live on this world because these Screamers, and the Screamers have evolved, and you have this post-apocalyptic world. Radiation has pretty much destroyed everything. What isn't destroyed by radiation has become a wasteland because of the Screamers, and the only thing left are a few people living in bunkers. It's very bleak, it's very dark. It kind of reminds me of Planet of the Apes in terms of its imagery. And to be honest with you, the science is pretty bad. I mean, the science is rather dumb. One of the things they do say is we don't know how the Screamers work, but whoever wrote this film doesn't really understand how radiation works either. Because apparently they have cigarettes that stop you from being killed by radiation. In any case, Screamers had a sequel, which is why I finally looked this movie up. And personally, I only saw the first half of the original. I don't remember what interrupted my original viewing experience, but that was like 20 years ago. So, who knows? But yeah, look. Screamers for science fiction geeks is delightful. It has solid special effects. There's some stop motion in there, a reasonable amount of gore, and some explosions. It's something that was made after the end of the Cold War, 10 years after the end of the Cold War, by people who still remembered the Cold War. And, as a thing, definitely a very interesting film. Okay? I can't say it's wonderful. It's not a must-watch, but it is the upper half of your watch list. Very close to the top. This is one of those films where you should really... It's not... RoboCop is a must-watch film, okay? And this particular actor is known for doing very excellent science fiction. So, I mean, if I had to pick 3 films to watch of his, it would be RoboCop, Leviathan, and perhaps this. I have to say this is probably my 3rd favorite of his films. Not a wonderful film in all reality. Not nearly anywhere as high on my list as Leviathan, which I could watch over and over, or RoboCop, which is a must-watch film. But definitely Screamers is very much a worthwhile movie, and it's a lot of fun. The sequel I have also watched. It's not as much fun, But I will talk about that in another video. But that's just my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours. Down in the comments below. I'm Richard.
Ladies, gentlemen, and human-type persons, I am Sergeant Duck, and I am tasking you with commenting on this video. You should also like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with your friends, and make a better, more disciplined world for you and for me. Dismissed!